When I was a pimply teenager with a full head of hair, I joined Rex's gym and tried to coax my skinny ass to grow some muscle. Now, Rex was an old-school lifter who loved to combine basic lifts with heavy weights and insane volume. For example, on leg days, Rex usually performed 20 sets of barbell squats, where he worked up to a heavy set of 200 kilograms and then squatted back down the weight stack to get some volume. This squatting hellscape was followed by hamstring curls, calves, and of course, abs. One direct consequence of this squatting brutality was the epic muscle soreness that I enjoyed for the next 3 to 4 days. However, the genuinely impressive part of the story is that Rex performed these workouts while in his 60s.
Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. Mahatma Gandhi.
Witnessing Rex blasting out 200-kilogram squats like a belligerent war god was beyond awesome. However, that's not why Rex's story is so inspiring. You see, Rex wasn't born a beast. He wasn't a professional athlete, and he certainly wasn't a lifelong fitness junkie. Instead, after leaving the Navy, Rex plunged into depression. Like many depressed middle-aged men of his generation, he drank too much beer, smoked too many cigarettes, and was earmarked for an early grave. Then, at age 50, Rex looked in the mirror, declared, "Screw this," joined a gym, and methodically transformed himself into a god of iron, business owner, and mentor of young men and women.
You don't stop exercising because you get old. You get old because you stop exercising. Jack LaLanne.
In contrast to Rex, many older adults find walking up a flight of stairs challenging because they are frail. What exactly is frailty? Well, frailty is an age-related syndrome that diminishes your strength, endurance, cognition, and immune function, making you more vulnerable to stress and illness. Some frailty highlights include doubling your chance of dying within the next 7 years. For men, 17 years of disability, and for women, a whopping 20 years of disability at the end of your life. An increased risk of falls, fractures, succumbing to severe illness, hospitalization, and suffering permanent disability. Great.
The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Warren Buffett.
Which brings us to the central question of today's episode. Can you prevent and reverse frailty? Well, pioneering studies on old frail patients that utilized high-intensity resistance training with nutritional interventions showed significant improvements in frailty. However, subsequent studies have been more equivocal. For example, some exercise interventions show mild to moderate improvements in frail patients, whereas others show absolutely no effect at all on frailty. What the freak? The emerging consensus is that reversing frailty depends on 2 key factors. 1, your intensity. 2, your consistency. In short, discipline is the coin of the realm for preventing and reversing frailty.
The tragedy of old age is not that one is old, but that one is young. Oscar Wilde.
If you only take one insight from this episode, let it be this. There are no scientific reasons why you can't be active and fully engaged with life, well into your 80s and beyond. Further, there are many proven lifestyle interventions that prevent and reverse age-related frailty, which cost you nothing but time and effort. So, I urge you, don't tap out of life too early. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes of Heroic Aging. This episode was written and created by Gus. The soundtrack, Probably, was composed by the musical genius Haranoda and licensed through Epidemic Sound.